I was going to tell you guys before we start this funny story, like one of my most scariest moments IRL, but it turned out to be funny because the podcast is going to be kind of long, so I didn't want to like add it in. Okay, so I was probably 22 or 23. This was in college. And I was hanging out with Ross at his mom's house. And I think either his whole family was asleep or they weren't there because it was just Ross and me, like out on their back porch. We're having a cigarette, whatever. And we go inside. And so the layout of their house, we come in from outside and it's through like a glass sliding door into the living room, which is huge and completely open, into an open dining room. Like you could see everything, right? So he goes in before me. I go in after him. I turn around. I shut the sliding glass door and I lock it, which would take what, like 2 seconds, 3 seconds tops.
Mm-hmm.
So I turn around and Ross, who was a tall, broad-shouldered dude, was just gone. Like not anywhere. And I just like froze. And in my mind, this sounds really stupid. In my mind, I was like, oh shit, somebody grabbed him. I don't know how I wouldn't have heard that because I didn't hear anything either. So I was like, shit, somebody grabbed him, or aliens zapped him out of the house, like real fast, real quiet, real fast, or something. Like I didn't know what happened, right?
I've got a third option.
What was the other option? Okay.
Batman. It's Batman.
It's Batman. I don't know what happened. So I turned like completely white and I'm like going as quietly as possible. I don't know why I thought that would help. I didn't say anything. I didn't call out to him. I like look around, go through the living room. He's not there anywhere. Going into the dining room. And then like once you get through the dining room, they were redoing their kitchen, like around to the right corner. And on the dining room table, because they were working on the house, there was like scissors, knives, like tools, all these things I could have used against an assailant. But then to my right, just sitting in the corner, was a broom. Don't know why I did this. I grabbed the broom. Nothing sharp or effective. I grabbed the broom, okay? And later, years looking back, we were like, oh, maybe you did that because you used to twirl flags and you thought, you know, just instinctually, I could use this as a bow staff. I don't know what I was thinking. Whatever. So I grabbed this broom and I'm still sneaking through, turn right to look into the kitchen, and I couldn't see anything. Like there was nobody in the kitchen, but I forgot, since they were redoing the kitchen, that there was like this cutout, like that I couldn't see into, where I guess the old fridge was. They were putting a new one in or something. And he was hiding in there. I don't know how the hell he got all the way in there in 2 seconds. And so he jumps out and screams at me. And I was like so terrified I didn't even scream. And he could see the look on my face like, oh shit, I scared her a little bit too much. And so he was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'll never do that again. But he still like jumps out at me and scares me all the time, but not like to that extreme. I don't know how that man got across 3 rooms and into that little cutout in that short amount of time.
Batman. He's Batman.
No, it was like very sneaky. Super sneaky.
So thankfully, you did not have a sharp object in your hand.
I know, because like what would he would have done if I had like scissors and just like, rah, just like stab right into his face? Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Wasn't the smartest thing to do.
That's going to allude into one of my stories.
Okay, go ahead. You can tell your story.
Oh, no.
Now.
This it's a CoGPod story.
This is for a CoGPod story. Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody have anything they would like to... I don't know what I was going to do. I was going to sweep him to death. I don't have any idea what I was thinking.
What you were going to do is, as you're going to light the edge on fire, the end on fire, and then shoot him back. Shoo.
Morpheus's solution to everything is light it on fire.
Yes.
Every situation ever in life, just light it on fire.
The only thing I could think that might have gone through your head is a broom has longer reach than a knife or scissors.
I don't think I was thinking. I think I just grabbed, and it was the worst choice. I was like the idiot in the scary movie that you yell at because they do the wrong thing.
Figure out the wrong thing.
Oh God, stupid bitch.
There's a guy on the battlefield, right? And the enemy rushing toward him. He's like, okay, so I have a choice of the submachine gun, a light machine gun, rocket launcher, or a slingshot. Oh, I think I'll go for the slingshot. That's
Or
you.
even worse, less effective, a cup of water.
Yeah.
Just douses them in water. Oh, God.
Just like, take that.
So ineffective. Well, unless it's that movie Signs and you're an alien, then it's effective.
Mhm.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to episode 43 of the CoGPod. This week is a special horror, not horror, H.O.R.R.O.R episode of CoGPod. And this was requested by Nick. So Nick said, Amanda, I want a horror-only podcast that I don't have to actually participate in, where I can just listen for however long you're recording. I'm like, cool, we can do that. So with me, I have Session 8 co-host iMorpheus IRL. His name is Derek. Say hi, Morpheus.
Hello, everyone. And I am fully clothed because this is horror, H-O-R-R-O-R.
Just to clarify.
Just to clarify, yes.
And then we also have Richard, who's been on the CoGPod before. He's Kamisus Online. Say hi, Richard.
Hello, I'm back.
At it again. I hope you guys are excited. I've got some fun games for you guys to play. And then we have like 10,000 questions.
Literally 10,000 questions?
I do want to mention, we have a lot of questions. I want to mention, though, this episode is brought to you by @Bonnie_RLP on Instagram. She's our executive producer this week for making some nice fan art for me. And I'll post that link on the podcast website, cogpod.net.
Good job, Bonnie.
And
High
then any
five,
links.
hugs.
Yay!
All the hugs.
I'm assuming it's a female. I always say she, but I actually could be completely wrong about that. I'm not sure. But thank you to Bonnie, RLP, him or her.
Him or her. And I'm still going to give them hugs because
Yeah, hugs either way.
hugs don't know gender.
Right, they don't. Oh, that's so sweet.
Thank you.
And then this should go out before Session 8 on Sunday. So we'll do a little quick plug. If you get to hear this before Session 8, we're doing, oh God, in honor of Shark Week. I told everybody, I was like, no Sharknado, right? So what happens on Twitter? Raiders of the Lost Shark won. So that is what we're watching at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on Sunday night.
I don't hear the cheer. I don't quite hear the cheer in your voice.
I'm actually excited because I think it'll be fun. Like the last couple ones we watched were more serious and like actual good scary movies, so it'll be fun to have one we can just make fun of again. So I'm actually kind of excited for it. So that'll be fun. If you need the links to the Session 8 Discord or the private invite, just tweet any one of us and we'll give it to you. It's cool. We invite everybody. Yes. Anyway, let me explain this first game to you guys. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. So, I'm going to give you three different movie titles, and two of them are real, and one of them is one that I've made up. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
And then you're going to tell me, so don't cheat. Like if you recognize a title, don't say it because your opponent is trying to guess as well. So you guys are trying to see who's going to get the most of these right. So you're going to tell me which one is the fake one that I've made up. And I did verify on Google that none of the ones I made up were actual shitty scary movies because you'll see these titles are ridiculous. All right. First set. So, which one's fake? Bikini Bloodbath Car Wash. That's the first one. The second one is called Elephant Murder Stomp. Okay. And then the third one is The Chopping Mall.
Can I get a spelling for mall? Is that M-A-L-L or M-A-U-L? Please say it's M-A-U-L.
They didn't. No, they didn't. It's M-A-L-L.
Oh,
They didn't take
boo.
advantage of that. I know.
Boo.
I know. Boo, sir. So which one? Bikini Bloodbath Car Wash, Elephant Murder Stomp, or The Chopping Mall? Which one did I make up?
Elephant Murder Stomp.
Okay, what do you think, Morph?
I really like that. I love Elephant Murder Stomp.
It sounds like a good title, but
It's a great flick starring Liam Neeson. And so I'm going to
Oh,
go.
God.
What was the first one again?
Bikini, bloodbath, car wash.
BBC. Okay, we're keeping that.
BBC.
I'm going to go with the mall one. What was the mall?
The chopping mall.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the chopping mall.
So you think that one's the fake one?
Yeah, that's the fake one.
Okay. So Richard has 1 point. I made up elephant murder stomp.
Oh.
I hope people are playing along, like wherever they're listening in their cars or like they're working out or trying to go to sleep and just laughing at these terrible titles because those other two are real.
Yeah.
God bless it.
I have a reason for my choice, though.
Okay.
Because while it does sound like a good title and everything like that for a horror movie,
Yeah.
it's actually a real thing that happens in life, or that happened in life. It was a form of torture that they used in Indonesia.
Excuse
Well,
me?
yeah, that's
Excuse
why
me?
I picked it. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't know that.
Wait, just rewind for just a moment. Say that part again about Indonesia.
Yeah, elephants down in Indonesia, I think it is, or is it Singapore?
I don't
I don't
know.
know. It was
I
one of
didn't know.
those Southeast Asian countries. They actually used what type of elephant was it? It was the smaller breed of elephants, but they used it to crush people as a form of torture.
Wow. See? I didn't even know it. I was being historically accurate.
Yeah.
Right. Historically accurate,
100%.
but historically accurate, but title-wise, no.
No. Okay, here's the second round.
Okay.
Your first choice is Zombies Take Manhattan. Okay. Second choice is Chud, Cannibalistic Humanoid Underground Dwellers. So that's what Chud stands for. Cannibalistic Humanoid Underground Dwellers. And then your third choice is Evil Bong, B-O-N-G. Like something you smoke out of.
Evil.
In this new terror horror, you don't smoke the bong smokes you.
Oh
The bong
my
packs
God.
you inside of itself and starts smoking.
Oh
Yeah.
no. So which one did I make up?
So I'm gonna go first on this one. So what's my first
Okay.
choice again?
Zombies Take Manhattan.
An evil bong.
Evil
then Chud.
Bong. And then the other one was Chud.
Chud. I'm going to go with evil bong.
Okay. Richard?
I'm in agreement with that.
You're both wrong. That's a real movie. I made
Was it
up.
Chud?
No,
Chud
I
is
made
real.
up Zombies Take Manhattan.
Oh, that sounds like a real movie, though.
Sounds so good.
No. Evil Bong is real. Oh,
How is
sad.
that real?
I don't know, you guys.
Can you read the
People are
synopsis
crazy.
for that?
No, I didn't put them in here because I figured we've got so many questions that if people want to look them up, just look them up later. Somebody
I'm definitely
can Google
checking that out. Evil bong.
Okay, so next round. Here are your three options. Oh, God. Number 1, fertilize the blaspheming bombshell. Just let that sink in.
Could you read that once more?
Fertilize the blaspheming bombshell. So
Thank
like
you.
a hot chick that is like denouncing Jesus, I guess. And then number 2 is the Gore Met, G-O-R-E Met, zombie chef from hell.
Oh, God.
And then the third choice is burning down the morgue.
Silence on all sides.
What you think, Richard? Which one's fake?
I'm going to say the first one.
Okay. What about you, Morph?
I want the first one to be real. So I'm not going to say that one.
Okay.
The gourmet chef one sounds real. What was the third one?
Burning down the morgue is the third one.
I'm into fire too. These are all so good. All right. Oh, geez. The third one. Third one's fake.
Okay. Morpheus gets the point this time. So you're tied 1-1. Fertilize the Blaspheming Bombshell is an actual movie.
Oh, I want the starring role.
Oh my God. So you guys are tied 1-1.
Yeah, I'm here to
we
audition as the fertilizer.
Oh,
Oh, you want to be the fertilizer. Ugh.
Wait.
Ugh. Okay. Round 4. There's only 5 rounds. So round 4. Number 1. Hollywood chainsaw hookers. Number 2. I bought a vampire motorcycle. Number 3. Werewolf bar mitzvah.
Werewolf
Oh
Bar
my
Mitzvah
God.
sounds like a great title to a punk song. Richard, you're up.
All right.
Wait, am I? Were you up?
No, Morpheus,
Yeah,
you go
it's your
first.
turn.
Oh, I can't game the system. Okay, so. All right. Can I hear those once more?
Okay. Hollywood chainsaw hookers. I bought a vampire motorcycle. Werewolf bar mitzvah.
God, I love Werewolf Bar Mitzvah. I love that so much. I'm going to go with Hollywood Hunter Hookers or Hookers of Hollywood. What was
Chainsaw hookers.
Yeah, that
okay.
one. Yeah.
Hollywood chainsaw hookers. All right, Richard.
I'm gonna go. I bought a vampire motorcycle.
All right, you were both wrong. The one I wrote down was Werewolf Bar Mitzvah, which actually I cheated a little because that's a song that was in 30 Rock, one episode.
Ah.
So I was right. It
But I
is
thought
a
it would be
great song.
funny. It's a song. It's actually really catchy. So look that up and watch that later. So you're still tied 1-1. So this is a tiebreaker. So one of you has to get this right. Okay. First choice, Dungeon of Death. Second choice, It's My Party and I'll Die If I Want to. Third choice, Please Don't Eat My Mother.
It's my party and I'll die if I want to. Die if I
I was
want
hoping
to.
you would do that.
Die if I want to.
Don't sing too much of it, copyright.
Oh, of course. Yeah, my wonderful singing, right?
It doesn't matter. Richard.
Okay, wait. We
Yeah.
should say them
Gonna
simultaneously. We're going to say them at the same time. So
Okay.
we
Okay.
can't game the system. All right, so titles
Okay.
once more.
Let me read them again. Dungeon of Death, It's My Party and I'll Die If I Want to, or Please Don't Eat My Mother. Which one did Amanda make up?
Okay, just say the number. We're going to say the
Yeah.
number that we
1, 2,
think.
or 3.
Okay, so Amanda, count down,
Ready?
and then we'll say the number.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
3.
2.
You're both wrong. Shit.
Hey, let's just treat it like soccer. We'll treat it like it's soccer. It's a tie.
I made up. Yeah, you have to. I didn't write down anymore, so it has to be a tie. You guys tied because Dungeon of Death was the one I made up.
GG, Richard. GG.
They're so bad. All I did was Google awful horror movie titles and just copy and pasted all the terrible ones in. So many bad ones.
We need to list all of those on the site.
Yeah.
Just Google it. It's like the first one. It might even have been like a BuzzFeed one or whatever, but it's like a list of 10 or 20 really terrible movies. Oh, man.
Good game, Richard.
All right. Yeah. GG, everybody. So you guys are both on the same level of not knowing.
Not knowing bad horror
So
movie names.
beforehand, Morpheus, basically, if you guys don't know what you do, because if you listen to us, you know, he used to host or co-host Death by Horror, which we all loved, where Lonely Bob would take him through these scary movie scenarios, and he would have to like figure out a way to survive or not, or he might die or whatever, because apparently, and correct me if I'm wrong, Morpheus hasn't really watched a lot of scary movies, so he didn't really know the storylines to these. Is that right, Morph?
That is correct.
Okay. And then Richard used to watch a lot of scary movies like 80s and 90s, old school, but not really so much recently, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are on level playing fields here, I feel like.
Oh, cool. Oh no, I know my role. I'm a whipping boy and
Yeah, exactly
yeah,
that.
yeah. I got it. I'm the cabana boy. I got it. All right.
Oh, God. Are you ready for the questions segment?
Ready.
Hit me.
You're ready. Okay. So this first one, because you guys may not have seen these movies, I've seen both, so I can answer, but I'll ask the question first and let you guys chime in. This is from SHS Podcast, so that stands for Streaming Horror Society Podcast. Side note, Morpheus and I are going to co-host together one of their podcasts for them in September, so be listening for that.
Nice.
But they asked, would you rather live in the world of Get Out, that's a movie title, so Get Out is the movie, or in the movie The Witch? So hypothetically, he says they're both in the same world, but so in Get Out, it's a world where someone's mind can be implanted into someone else's against their will. So it's kind of like it was a psychological thriller. And then The Witch is where a witch actually torments families who live in solitude, like way back in the day, like Pilgrim days. So there was no protections or anything we have now. So would you rather have Get Out psychological torment, or do you want to like fight a legitimate witch with no actual tools to fight her? First of all, have you guys seen either of those movies?
I have not.
I have not.
You haven't? You haven't? Okay, I've seen both. Get Out, I will tell you, got the highest rating I've rated any movie on the CoGPod before. It got 8 out of 8 stars.
Mm.
The Witch, I didn't like, which is like controversial because it's considered in the horror community to be one of like the best ones ever. I really didn't like it at all. But in this scenario, I'm going to go with The Witch because I'd rather like have an actual thing I can fight, even if it's like with a fucking rock or like a piece of wood or something, rather than somebody messing with my mind and I don't know what's real or not.
Mm.
So what do you think?
Well, I have
I
a
can
comment
agree with
about.
that. Go ahead, Mark.
I have a comment about Get Out and this whole thing of someone.
Okay.
It sounds like a reverse or the evil version of Inception. Do I have that correct?
Kind of. So it's like this lady's kind of psychic, but like she uses hypnosis to get into your mind, and then it's the first movie ever written and directed by Jordan Peele of Key and Peele, and it's also got a lot of hard-hitting like racial issues, and it's really, really good.
And the cast
and then The Witch is just this like I don't remember any other names. Like a lot of them have been in a lot of movies.
Okay.
But I don't remember any other names. And then The Witch is just this stupid, really slow, hard to understand their accents. So, like, I had to turn on subtitles, and it's just a witch that tries to kill a family. I don't know what the big deal was about it.
All right, Richard.
But either way, in this question, I would rather fight a witch.
Right.
Sounds logical. I could agree with that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would
What do you think,
rather
Morph?
have someone climbing around in my mind because they think that they're going to scare me. Mm-mm. they got it. You got it wrong, mister.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah, come on. Step into my parlor.
You think you have a twisted mind? Welcome to mine.
Yes.
And then the second part of the question was, would you rather deal with an actual Sharknado or graboids, which I don't know what a graboid is.
I do.
What is that?
They're from the movie Tremors.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay,
Yes.
I've seen Tremors 1 and 2 and probably 3 and 4 and 5. But yeah, okay, so I would rather deal with a Sharknado, I think. Because it's like you just get out of the tornado and then that's it. You know what I mean? Or you like have a bat and just hit the shark when it spins your direction. I don't know. It just seems so ridiculous. Like a worm that can jump out and eat me seems a little bit scarier and more realistic than a shark-filled tornado.
Morpheus, go ahead.
Man, this is tough. I've not watched Sharknado, which I was really looking forward to. I mean, But you have to deal with the wind. There's wind, and I assume it's water also, or is it just a bunch of sharks blowing in the wind?
Probably. It's probably a water tornado, yeah, I would guess. I haven't seen it either.
All right, let's just assume that's the case. So wind, water,
Okay.
sharks, hungry sharks, chomp, chomp, chomp. Or whenever you move, these worms come up and try to bite you and eat you.
Yeah.
Wow, there is no C. There is no option C. I can't talk my way out of this. No semantics. So
The issue with the graboids, though, is like you can't really run away because wherever you run, they're still under that ground. Like a Sharknado, you just get out of the tornado. Like you just get out of it, though, and then you're just out.
and you can see it coming.
You see it coming in, and then you're just out of it.
So
Like it might even throw you out of itself because
Yeah.
it's a tornado.
Richard, what kind of car do you drive?
Camry, Toyota.
Toyota Camry. All right, listen. Let's just all hop in the Camry.
No. Let me stop you there already because
What, Richard's a bad
Richard-
driver.
No. Richard is an amazing driver to the extent of it being like your dad trying to drive away from a tornado. Like, everybody get your seatbelt on. I'm not running from this tornado full of sharks until your seatbelt is buckled.
Yeah.
So, like, we would not get away in time. Plus, he's not going to go over 45, so we're not getting out of there.
No, that's not true. I go over 45.
46.
Richard.
I had cap go
46.
55.
Come on now. So, no, we're not piling in his car. We do better on your bike, Morph.
Okay, how about this? We all head over to Richard's. I'll drive,
Okay.
but I am with Richard on this. We all must buckle up. Sorry,
Okay.
safety first.
Okay. So we're all going to deal with the Sharknado, but in a uniformed get in the car way.
Yes.
Well, that's your
All right,
guys'
we solved.
decision.
Okay. You
I
don't want to
prefer-
deal with the Sharknado.
No, I don't want to deal with Sharknadoes. I prefer graboids because I know how to deal with them.
Yeah, you just shoot them in the head, right?
No.
Isn't that what they did? They
Well,
blew them up? What did they do?
The first one, they blew them up with dynamite.
Right.
The second one, this one's kind of complicated because you have to deal with the entire graboid world. Where, because in the first one it's only the worms. The second one
Right.
you have the thermal vision walkers,
Oh, I forgot about that.
and then the third one you have the ass blasters that can fly with thermal vision.
Do you remember listening to our episode called Ass Blasters Saved the Franchise?
I think so. I think so.
Where we talk about this. So there was a fourth and a fifth, I believe, but the
Yes.
last one I saw was it was probably the fifth one. Whatever the last one was, I watched it and it was so bad. It was so bad.
That's the one that's back in time, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So bad.
Ugh.
So you'd rather deal with them because you know what to do.
Yes.
You feel like there's an actual handbook for
Yeah.
dealing with these guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Whereas a tornado full of sharks, we're not real sure about that.
Well, a tornado
Okay.
full of sharks can happen at any time. You don't know when. Graboids you can actually control up to a certain extent. That's just my opinion.
What's
I
the
like
secret?
the logic behind these completely ridiculous circumstances.
What's the secret
Okay.
to defeating graboids?
Graboids cannot dig through rock.
Yeah,
So if you have like a reinforced concrete wall or something like that, they can't
then
get
you're
through
fine.
it. Then you only have to worry about the if you continue on with the evolution of their crazy world, then you only have to worry about the thermal vision and the ass blasters. But those are easy to take care of since they're small.
Ass blasters sounds like a combo that you get from Taco Bell. Yeah, I'm just gonna get a number one ass blaster supreme with a large diet Pepsi. I don't know why you need the diet.
Just get a large farva.
Jesus. Okay, we gotta move on because we got 1,000 of these.
Okay.
Next one is from Millie Mozilla. What's up, Millie? So, he wants to know, you gotta flip it. Now, for each of you, for each of us, you're the killer in the horror movie. How do you kill people? Like, what's your method? What's your cool name gonna be? And who would you target first or at all? Richard?
Okay. This one's actually kind of simple because apparently everyone that knows me seems to have dreams to where I kill everyone anyway.
Oh God.
So I'm just gonna kind of build on that. So essentially,
Okay.
I'll just go with the nickname Smirk, because
Okay.
whenever I'm killing people, I'll just have a nice smirk on my face,
Not creepy at all. Sure.
and then, I'll just carry around a nice knife, pocket size, so that way I can cut throats easily. But the way I would start out is just whoever's closest to me physically at the time. Since I'm in this house, I have my roommates that I could start with, and then I could go across the street.
Sorry, Chris and Rosalind.
Then I could
But
go
don't kill the
across
puppy.
street
You
to-
can't. You can never kill the puppy. You have to only kill people.
But I can't, because that's their child. That's their mentality.
Puppies
Yep.
off limits. Puppies off limits.
Oh, fine.
I'm with Amanda here.
Okay, then I can't kill my cat either.
Right.
Okay, so no pets.
Well, I don't know. Maybe Claire. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
no, I'm
She
gonna
does
keep
eat
her.
paint. Side note: Claire likes to eat paint.
Straight
for
from the
those of you who
can?
didn't know.
No,
No, off the wall. Off the
God
wall.
dang it.
Sorry.
How do
Putting
you
all
eat
your
paint off?
business out?
How do you eat paint off of a wall?
In my previous college, we were at a renovated house, and they used
It was
lead
like
paint.
peeling.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
used
and it
lead
was, like,
paint on the wall,
peeling.
and it was peeling off, and apparently my cat would rub on the wall. Some of it would peel off, and she would eat it.
What flavor was the paint?
I don't know. I'm not going to eat it. It's lead paint.
It was paint. It was lead flavored.
It was fish
Yeah.
flavored.
Okay, I'm sorry. I keep interrupting you. Continue on your murder streak.
Yes.
Okay, and then I would just work my way down south on my nice murder spree. So
So you're heading towards Mexico with the murdering.
yes, and I don't worry, I'll find my way to you.
Thanks. I appreciate it. I would feel a little left out if you didn't include me. Okay, Morpheus, you're the killer in the horror movie. How do you kill people? Oh, wait, you already gave us your name. Okay, Morpheus, what would your cool name be? And then who do you target?
I would just be Morpheus. Oh, great. It's
Okay.
my dad. Hold on. Hi, Dad. Can't talk now. Love you. All right.
I love that was mid-sentence and there's no way to edit that out. That's definitely staying in.
So,
Okay, continue.
Morpheus. And
Okay.
so, how would I kill people? That's with whatever's at hand. Everything except a broom. I don't think brooms are good for killing. But yeah, knife, whatever I have at hand. Jeep, bicycle, basket, shopping
Whatever.
basket, whatever.
Okay.
But I'd be
Do
very
you have any particular targets or are you just going to murder at will?
well. That's Smirk's. That's Smirk's neighborhood. I won't just randomly kill folks. You know what? I don't want
Who
to.
are you going after?
All the jerks.
Okay.
Just people who are jerky. If I see someone being the jerk, hey, you're being the jerk, and grab the
Dead.
nearest object and dead. And I want people to cheer when I do it.
Okay.
So I'm like
You can carry. You know what you could do is have like a little pocket, like a Walkman. Okay. Anybody under the age of 30, a Walkman used to carry a tape player. Anyway, so what you do is you have a Walkman with like pre-recorded claps and audience cheers, and then every time you murder someone, you just hit play.
yes.
Oh, that sounds like a good idea.
So
do
what
that
would my
yourself.
name be then? The Walkman Killer?
You could, yeah, you could do.
Let's go with that. I'm the Walkman Killer.
You'd have to have like a pocket, like a pouch full of batteries to keep it alive and everything whenever you're doing it.
It's like a fanny pack.
Yeah.
The fanny pack killer. That doesn't sound menacing at all.
I apologize to my British friends out there who know what a fanny is.
Oh yeah, that's something
Oh,
different.
right. That's different. So
the
a fanny
fanny
pack
killer.
is like a pouch purse that you put around your waist. Okay, y'all ready for mine?
Yes.
My name, I'm going to use the same name I use in all of my fantasy football leagues. I am the Jinja Ninja. Okay.
Okay.
I like it.
Okay. And so I kill people in your general ninja style, like shurikens. I got swords. I'm like creeping across the roof all quiet like I'm in Tenchu Z and shit, flipping down and murdering folks. But my targets would only be like people that weren't convicted of a crime that they were guilty for. So like super bad people. People that got off on murders and like all that kind of stuff. They weren't convicted. I'm going to go find you and murder you in ninja style.
Mm.
The Jinja Ninja. And then I collect your souls because I'm a ginger.
Nice. Let me tell you what came to mind.
Okay.
Oh boy, here I go killing again. That's from Rick and Morty. That's have you not watched that episode?
Yes. Speaking of which, they're coming back on air pretty soon. Super excited.
Not in Japan.
All
though.
right, next question we got from Lazarich the Lich, one of our faves. So this one you guys are going to have to answer first because I couldn't think of a good answer. If you were to get a horror, H.O.R.R.O.R, horror themed tattoo, what would the tattoo be? Morpheus.
It would be the chant from one of Lovecraft's Cthulhu stories. I just had that chant printed right across my back.
Oh, snap. That's a good one. Okay. Richard?
I wouldn't go with a tattoo.
Okay.
Instead, I would just like make a little nick, so like on my chest or something, to where people can't see it on my arms or anything like that.
Okay.
Because I gotta be inconspicuous whenever I'm killing people, so
That's
gotta have
true. That's
little
true.
nicks for every single person that I've gotten. Just keep making it into scars.
I like
can't
on the
think
old
of
World War II
anything.
aircraft. I see. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, he's just like, it's like a tick mark for every person he kills. I don't really like tattoos at all. But if I had to get one, it would be similar to something like on Supernatural. It's not horror themed. Whatever. Shut up. That's my answer. Like where they have that ward on their arms or their chest or whatever that wards off demons from possessing them. That's what I would get. That's close. That's close, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. That's the closest thing.
You're gonna go with like biblical names and stuff like that on you.
No, it's like it almost looks like a star, but then it's got some other stuff on it. It's like, and like they both have the same tattoo. And I think Nick actually has that tattoo from Supernatural. I could be wrong. I think he does though. All right. Let's see. Oh, and I would get it like on my side, like down my ribs, so that anything I wear would cover it no matter what. Because I hate tattoos. Okay. Next question. Xanderius asks, what kind of horror character or monster would you want to be depending on whatever situation you're in? So I don't really know. Like, this one seems super general, so I'm just going to say if I got to pick a type of monster from every kind of genre, obviously everyone knows I'm going to be a vampire. So that's like it for me. Richard?
I would actually be a blob man.
Oh, God.
No, because
Why?
blob people are hard to kill. You can't crush them, you can't cut them, you can't shoot them.
Oh, that reminds me. Did you ever see that movie Slither?
Slither. Sounds familiar.
So it was almost like that lamprey movie, except it's like these worms that go through pipes and they take over your body. And in the end, the guy that's like the King Slither dude, it's a funny horror movie, meant to be funny. He is a blob of just all these bodies melded together. It's like really creepy and disgusting, but funny. So you're a blob man.
Yeah.
Would you be like in Minecraft where if they chopped you in half, then there's just two of you? Like it didn't actually kill you. It just like divided you literally in half, but you're still going.
Yeah. And then I could come back together if I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll eat
Sounds
people
good.
and then I'll get bigger. Yeah.
So as a blob monster, you have a jaw. Like you don't just absorb them, you're going to eat them?
No. No jaws.
Okay.
Just
absorption.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Morpheus?
All right. This is probably going to get me thrown out of the community, but I'm going to say it anyway.
No, it's not.
Oh, trust me, it is.
Oh, God.
Blade.
What's wrong with Blade?
A lot of people hate. A lot of people really.
I love Blade.
Really
So
excellent.
half vampire?
Yeah, half vampire, but I'm going to pay my taxes so I
But
don't go to
vampire
jail.
killer. He's like a vampire killer. So yeah, he's pretty badass.
Yeah, I want the black
I'm
jacket.
sorry, I'm against both of you guys in the vampire world then. I'm not a vampire guy. I like werewolves.
Oh, that's fine. Werewolves are cool too, I guess. As long as it's not the what's that terrible werewolf series I mentioned last time? What's her face is in it? Underworld. Awful. Awful.
The first one's alright.
God, I couldn't even get through that one. I tried.
Really?
I tried to watch them all. I just couldn't do it. It didn't catch my interest. I guess I'm just used to certain lore and it's so different. Like it's its own world for sure.
Mm.
Okay.
Very action-packed compared to most vampire.
Well, and I like
werewolf
her.
movies.
Like I love her in all her other movies, and she's super kick-ass. But the movie itself is hard to get through. All right, still going. We got a bunch left.
Okay.
So, repeat questioner, is that a thing? Questioner.
It is
Anyway.
now.
Okay. Papa Legba has written in again. He would like to know which season of American Horror Story was your favorite, and then which one was your second favorite, and why. Now, do you guys watch this show, or you don't?
I haven't seen it. I usually don't see horror TV shows.
Okay. Morph, have you seen any of them?
I watched 1 or 2 episodes, and I don't know, it felt a bit much, so I think I just backed out.
Okay, you guys are completely unqualified. So,
Yes,
I
we are.
watch
Sorry.
them and I
We
love
have
them.
failed
It's one
you.
of my. You have failed me more so than the Blade answer. So, American Horror Story is amazing. I wish there were like 1,000 TV shows that were like this. My favorite so far has been Hotel, which I think was season 7. And Lady Gaga was amazing in it as the main character, and I hope that she acts more because she was really, really good, like the best. And then my second favorite season is the first season, which was American Horror Story, the Horror Mansion, like the original. And I just love that one because it was just starting out. Nobody had seen any of the American Horror Story stuff before, and it was like a whole new thing. Close third that was almost second to the original season was season 8, so last season, which was Roanoke Nightmare. Do you guys know what Roanoke is, right? Like the lost city with the Roanoke virus, Croatoan, all that stuff?
No.
No.
Okay, I'm not going to get into that. But anyway, season 8 would be third, I guess. We'll just skip that. You can look that up. if
She's
you
so
look it up.
disappointed. I can hear it.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not. One of my favorite actors has been in all of them, Evan Peters. He is so cute. Okay, we can move on.
I just want to shout out to Papa Legba. I love your name.
I know. It's pretty amazing. So another repeat questioner, I'm making that a word now, is Moto has written in again. And as I always say, hello, Moto. So, hello, Moto. And Moto wanted to know top 5 horror movies, but we don't have enough time to really list 5. So we're going to skip that question and go to the other ones. Moto also asked which horror movie has the best soundtrack. And then what was the first horror movie you ever saw? I'll start, I guess, for this one too. So best soundtrack. Oh, there's so many. Of course the classics, like Jason soundtracks are pretty good, but a recent one, the movie Wish Upon had a really good soundtrack. First horror movie I ever saw was either, I can't remember because I was probably like 4. Might have been 3, 4, or 5. I was super young. Was either Nightmare on Elm Street, like the original Freddy Krueger, or what's the one called that's Pinhead?
Hellraiser.
Hellraiser. So one of those two was my first. So I just like skipped any medium-sized scary and went straight full-on terrify your life as a young child scary. What about you, Richard?
Best soundtrack is Day of the Dead, the original. It's kind of goofy, but I like it.
Oh, okay.
And that was made in like 1980 something, or no,
Yeah.
before then, like 1970. And what was the other question?
First horror movie you ever saw.
First horror movie. I would say if it doesn't say horror in the film, but it's Heavy Metal. It's an animated film from 1981. That was probably the first technical horror film that I'd seen. But actual horror film was Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
I love that movie. And I hate clowns. Like,
Yeah.
I really hate clowns, but I love that movie because it's just so ridiculous. Yeah, like I noticed horror movies with good soundtracks, like kind of 80s, because they just like draw you in. Like if you guys watch Stranger Things, which is another TV show horror one that you probably haven't seen, but the soundtrack to it is super good because it's 80s all the way.
Love 80s soundtracks.
Morpheus. I know, they're so good.
Love the
Morpheus. What are your answers?
All right. Haven't watched enough horror movies to come up with an answer for a soundtrack, but I do have an answer for the second part. So first horror movie. I'm going to roll two movies into one, and neither of them are horror, but they're terrifying.
Okay.
You'll see. Invasion of the Body Snatchers and the first.
That's a horror movie. That's a horror movie.
Oh, okay. Classifies. Okay, and War of the Worlds, the one from way back.
I
when.
love that movie.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Those are great.
Guess how I watched War
Body
of the
Snatchers was amazing.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think,
Love it.
Is Leonard Nimoy in that? Is that?
I think he was in the original. So they've redone it many, many times. The most recent one might have just been called Invasion, because they reboot it and redo it every 10 or 15 years or so. There's several versions of it. But I think he was in that original first
one, right? Yeah, that's the one I watched. That's how old I am.
How old were you when you saw it?
Young, very young.
Because War of the Worlds isn't that old.
The black and white version?
Oh.
Yeah.
I like that reaction.
I was thinking of the Tom Cruise remake in like 05 or whenever it was. Okay.
Back when
my
I was
bad.
a young man, our TVs had rabbit ears, and we used to put tin foil around the one side.
Oh no. Yeah, we did too. But that was more just because we were poor.
Hey.
Couldn't afford cable.
Hey.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are good choices. Okay. Carly Genus says, if you were being stalked by an evil entity... Oh, I'm excited for this question. I remember this. Okay. If you're being stalked by an evil entity, what would be the 3 things that this evil entity uses to torture you if they know your innermost fears? This is a good one. Richard, you go first.
Okay.
3 things. 3 things.
1, centipedes. Fucking disgusting little
Oh.
bugs. I hate those things.
Gross.
Having a presence stand at the foot of your bed whenever you're sleeping, and you wake up and there's nothing there.
Okay.
And then the final one, the feeling of being watched outside of your house at night.
What about inside your house? That's creepier.
No,
Like somebody's watching through the window?
yeah,
That's creepy.
that creeps me out even more. Because I'm serious. Like out at my parents whenever they're out like on vacation or something like that, and I'm watching their house at night. Whenever I'm out there by myself, I always have a gun with me or a knife, just because it creeps me out. Because they're in the middle of the country.
Yeah.
There's like 50 million open windows. I feel like something is gonna be out there. So yeah.
Just to clarify.
But then you'll smirk at them and then it'll be over.
Just to clarify, a gun and a knife, correct? A gun and a knife.
Or a knife.
Yeah, he's
knife.
really prepared.
So not a broom or a rake.
God dang it. I'm never going to live that down.
Never.
That's not going to be. Never. Morpheus, what are your 3 innermost fears that this evil entity is going to use to stalk you?
Now, Richard, you gave some very, very solid, well thought out answers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tear that all down.
Okay.
I'm going to start with the vilest of creatures, bees. The worst.
You and Nick with the freaking bees, okay?
What's wrong with bees? Unless they're killer bees, of course.
They're crazy.
They're bees. Okay.
They're bees.
They're bees. Next, seafood.
What about seafood?
I can't do it. I can't eat it. It's horrible. It's the worst.
So this evil entity has put you in a room full of bees and is force feeding you fish?
Yes.
Oh God, okay.
It gets even better.
So weird.
It gets
Okay.
even better. Wet socks.
Oh dear God. Jesus Christ.
Oh,
I
I
can't
hate
even.
wearing wet socks too.
I can't even with you.
See? Richard gets it. Be in a room full of bees being force-fed fish while wearing wet socks. It's the worst.
Oh my God. Oh man. Okay. That's amazing. So my 3. So a couple of my fears are all kind of wrapped into one, which is things that are in that uncanny valley. So dolls, marionettes, puppets, like those type of things super creep me out, like hardcore. So that clowns of any kind. So like clown dolls would be like super bad. And then snakes. So I'm in a room full of snakes surrounded by clown dolls. I would just give up.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Just
come and
take me
rescue
now,
you.
Jesus.
Yeah.
No,
I
just
look in
take
that
me
mess
now.
and say, no, that's right. You're on your own.
You're like, nuh-uh, my socks are wet. I got to get out of these first. I can't do it. Can't help you.
Can't deal.
Oh, that was a good one. I like that. All right. Next question is from Sensei number 9. Have you guys watched any foreign horror movies? I've always found them to be much more interesting and scary. Maybe part of it is because they can be foreign from my experience, which is true. What ones have you seen? Do you find them more or less scary? And why? Morpheus, since you're in Japan, I'll let you go first.
Okay.
Because that's
And
foreign to me.
I used to watch a lot of Chinese sort of comedy horror movies. I think they were Chinese.
They have comedy horror ones?
Yeah, I think it's called, what was it called?
Is it like a certain genre or something?
Yeah, these ghosts, they were great. They would sort of, they had their arms out in front of them. They'd hop around. But I think if you put like a note or something on their face, it would make them freeze or something. It was all very foreign, very weird. Kyonshi
How
or something
odd.
like that.
Okay.
Kyonshi?
I feel it sounds familiar vaguely somehow. Maybe I accidentally watched one at some point.
Yeah, that would be my answer.
Do you find the foreign films more or less scary than the American films?
I find Japanese horror films to be a bit much.
Yeah.
And sometimes
They can
poorly
be-
acted.
Well, so my answer is like that, literally that. So I've seen some French ones, a few Australian ones, and a lot of Japanese ones with, the subtitles on or whatever. And the Japanese ones are typically, or at least a lot of times, adapted to an American version of them. And the Japanese version is always way scarier than the American version. But I really like Australian horror movies because they get so violent. They're like super violent. One that I would suggest that's one of my favorites is called Wolf Creek. Super violent Australian movie. And then there's this one French film, had the subtitles on that one too, called High Tension that I loved. A lot of people hated it, but I really liked it. And I thought it was really good. So I don't know. It depends on the type of scary movie. Like some American ones can be pretty scary, but if they're adapted from a foreign version to an American version, it's like they lose something.
Yeah, they do.
If that makes
whitewash
sense.
it.
Yeah, it loses a little bit of the experience. What do you think, Richard?
Well, really the only foreign films that I've seen have been Asian horror films. I haven't really seen any European or Australian, South American, or anything like that. It's just been Asian. And I would definitely agree that they are a lot scarier.
Yeah.
For some reason, the ghosts, Japanese ghosts, are
they
the worst.
They have like something. They have something behind their eyes that just like freaks me out. Scares me a little bit more. They seem a little bit more convincing. I'm more terrified.
Can we
Like the
eventually
American
watch?
ones are just so fake looking.
Yeah. It's like
At
the
least-
difference between the American Grudge and the Japanese Grudge, or
Yeah,
the American
yeah,
Ring and Japanese Ring.
yeah, definitely.
Can we watch that French?
All right.
Can we watch that French movie one day on Session 8?
Yeah, if you have it.
I'll see. Yeah, send the
Is my
title. I'll see if
cat-
I can see if it's available.
Excuse my cat knocking over a liquor bottle. So yeah, I'll send you that. Jesus
That's why your
Christ.
cats have problems. You got open liquor bottles and drinking it out the bottles. Like, hey,
That's like
Oh,
perfect timing because
God.
my cat just jumped off my bed and started meowing at me.
How random. The sun's going down, so he's gonna flip out in a minute. He has a bit of sundowners. He gets real crazy when the sun goes down. So the next one is from Locke, is what people know him online. His name is Mike. He's a friend of the COG. So any of you guys subscribe to H.O.R.R.O.R, which is a online streaming horror movie service? And if so, is it worth the $5 a month? I don't subscribe to it because I looked through their list of available movies one month and like wasn't interested in any of them, and I was like, oh, well, I'm not gonna pay $5 for this service that doesn't have anything that I haven't seen or am not into. So I only looked at it the one time though, so I don't know like overall.
No, I've never heard of Shudder.
You haven't?
Mm-mm.
Do you guys have that there, Morpheus?
I checked into it and it's not offered here.
It's not. Okay.
Yeah. But
So,
$5 for
it may be
streaming
worth
service?
the $5. Like it seemed like a lot of the stuff was like not even good at all. Like, you know how Netflix has kind of like a lot of times the B movies and not the greatest selection? It seemed like these were C and D movies. Like they were a little bit lower. So we'll just agree to check it out yourself, and maybe if you like the crappier movies, then $5 isn't much to do. We have a question from a good friend of yours, Morpheus. Lonely Bob wrote in. He wants to know, what was the first George Romero film you watched, and when did you watch it? Morpheus, since he's your buddy, you can say hi and answer first.
Hey, Lonely Bob. Miss you.
Aww.
So, God, this is going to... Again, please let me stay in the horror community.
Is it the one we watched last week?
Yes, it is.
God dang it, Morpheus. Jesus. Jesus Christ. We love you. You can stay.
Thank you. Thank you.
You can stay.
So
We
I
love
think
you.
I might have watched the original of Night of the Living
Of that
Dead.
one, like
Yeah.
the black and white one.
Yes.
Mm.
But what are some other titles that I
for-
might be familiar with?
So there's Night of the Living Dead, Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead.
Is Dawn of the Dead where
Return
they're
of
in the
the
mall and
Living
they're shooting
Dead.
people? Are they in
Well,
the mall?
the remake. The remake's in the mall. I don't know if the original was.
Yeah, the original's in the mall as well.
It was as well. Okay, so
Yeah.
I didn't see the original. I saw the remake of that one.
Funnily
So
enough-
my first one.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was gonna say my first one was also the original Night of the Living Dead.
Mm.
I don't even remember when though. I was pretty young.
I'm going to say
But-
Dawn of the Dead, possibly.
The
Was my
original one.
first. Possibly, yes.
The remake was super good.
If
What
I throw
year
out
was
some
that?
hints, do you think you might get it? Or you might
Yeah.
remember it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's two, or is it three soldiers? I think it's three soldiers. Go into a mall and essentially board up all of the entrances with trucks because once the zombies are on the ground, they don't have enough force to push the doors open.
Okay.
And there's a couple survivors that make their way into the mall, and then there's a giant gang which was referenced in the Night of the Living Dead that we just watched, that makes their way to the mall and acts like they're in trouble and asks to come in, but the black soldier is smarter than them and realizes that it's a trap, but those gangsters push the trucks that they put in front of the doors out of the way, break into the mall, letting in all the zombies and everything like that, and there's a big shootout and stuff like that. Any of that?
Oh, was
ring a
that
bell?
the original?
Yeah, that was the original.
Okay, I didn't see that one then. I must have only seen the remake because the storyline in the remake is different than that.
Yeah. It's the same mall, funnily enough. That was what I was going to say.
Is it?
It's the exact same mall.
Interesting. It starts out super cool in the remake, and they go to the mall and all that, but there's no gang in the remake, if I remember correctly.
No, there's not.
What was the one where it was heavily military, and then like the zombies, you see them walking on the ocean floor over to Manhattan Island because apparently since they don't need to breathe because they're dead, they were walking on the ocean floor. Which one was that? Was that Day of the Dead?
No. That was one of his more recent ones. Oh, shoot. What was that one called?
I can't remember. There's been so many.
Yeah. I can't remember what that one was called, but no, that one was.
But you know what I'm
one of
talking
the
about.
ones.
That
Yeah.
one wasn't. I didn't really like that one as much as the other ones.
No, that's like whenever they start realizing that zombies can become sentient and start understanding things.
Yeah, for sure. Okay,
Yeah, Dawn
So
of the
that's
Dead
good.
is the one I watched, the original.
the original one.
Yeah,
so
the
you
mall
saw that
scene.
one. Okay.
Which one
Okay.
has that line about Tina? The zombie is down, like on the second floor, and the girl Tina's upstairs in the basement or something, the attic, and he's saying, "If let me in, Tina, I can smell your brains."
That's Return of the Living Dead.
Okay. I love that one. They smell
That's
so.
like-
God.
That was Romero's most hated zombie movie.
Is it that?
Yeah, it was
is.
pretty bad.
That line is so good.
He has good like one-liners in a lot of them though. Some pretty good ones.
Yeah, that's my
Coming
favorite.
to get you, Barbara.
Yeah, when I heard that, I was like, "Oh, I have seen this." 'Cause
Yeah.
I remembered that line. Okay, so that wraps up the question segment. Jesus
So,
Christ.
being a person of color, can I say I went white with fear?
Yes. You'd have to be real scared. Really
some-
scared. Jesus. Oh my God. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Are you guys ready to play one more game?
Bring it.
Sure.
Okay. So in this game, I'm going to read you the synopsis of two movies. So you got to pay attention because I don't want to read them twice. So you got to pay attention. And then you've got to pick movie A or movie B is the one that I loved. And then which one is the one that I hated. So they're both real movies, but one I loved and one I hated. And they both sound ridiculous in all these examples. Because you know me, I have shitty taste. So it's going to be hard for you to pick. And maybe this will help us break the tie from the first game.
All right.
Okay. Here we go. First round, movie A. A deranged psychopath returns from the grave in the form of a delicious but deadly treat in a B movie bloody tale of baked goods gone bad. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Let me see if there's any. I'm going to see if there's any more of it that I need to read because it's a really long synopsis they put on here. Basically, like this guy dies and the mom cooks up this diabolical plot using like a blood curse and bakes it into a gingerbread cookie recipe. And then the gingerbread cookie comes to life and murders people. Okay?
Okay.
That's the first one. And then the second one, the synopsis says, the team behind the Scream trilogy, so that's Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson, have another teen horror genre that they've started with this movie, which I almost said the title because it's written in the synopsis. So the film tells the story of two siblings who have to battle a werewolf that has been wreaking havoc on their neighbors, just as they learn that they might also be marked with the sign of the beast and may become werewolves themselves. So which one of those? So you've got a gingerbread cookie that murders people, or you've got brother and sister werewolf fighting team. Which one did I like? Which one did I hate?
Can I go first?
Yeah.
All right. I just want to say, when the twin powers activate, You love you love the werewolf.
Form of a werewolf. Wait, no.
Form of a chic lady's razor blade, because, werewolves are hairy.
Where's the monkey?
So which one did I like, Morpheus?
Oh, that one. Definitely that one.
The werewolf one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What do you think, Richard?
No, I think you like the gingerbread murdering people.
Okay. So let me tell you, the first one, the gingerbread murder movie, is called The Ginger Dead Man, and it stars, guess who, you guys? Gary Busey.
Yes!
He's the Ginger Dead Man. Okay. The second movie, the werewolf movie, is called Cursed, and it stars Christina Ricci and Jesse Eisenberg.
Okay.
And Morpheus was right. That's the one I liked. I hated Ginger Dead Man. They made a second one, though, because it has like this cult following for some stupid reason. So there's a Ginger Dead Man 2. Okay. Also, don't see that. So anyway, Morpheus 1, Richard 0.
All right.
Okay. Round 2. Movie A. So this is a British thriller that takes many unusual twists and turns as it follows the perils of 3 young American filmmakers in Moscow. Billy, Karen, and Andy are making a low-budget suspense movie in Moscow. When Billy witnesses a murder, she, so this is the female character, must struggle to evade the Russian mafia and stay alive. Okay, so that's the first one. Russian mafia,
Okay.
low-budget film.
London.
Mm-hmm.
Second one. After receiving a grant for her graduate thesis, Elizabeth Benton logs onto a video chat site known as the name of the movie, which I'm not going to say. So it's supposed to be kind of like chat roulette, if you guys know what that is, basically is what this is. So on a mission to explore the habits of its users, she gets on random video chats, and on one of the random video chats, she watches in horror as a teenage girl is brutally murdered in front of the webcam. The police dismiss it, and then these guys start coming after her, and she's trapped in a twisted game in which her and her loved ones are targeted for the same fate as the first victim. So those both sound pretty legit. Which one did I like, and which one did I not like, Richard?
I think I've seen one of these, and
You probably have.
the other one I've heard of, but I haven't seen.
Okay.
I'm going to say that you liked the first one in Chernobyl.
Okay. Morpheus?
Okay, can you tell me about the first one again? Just how many? There were 3 characters.
So the first one, yeah.
And what's the makeup of the
3
team?
characters. They're making a suspense movie in Moscow. One of them witnesses a murder, and then she struggles to get away from the Russian mafia that saw her witness the murder.
Okay, so it's a girl and 2 guys?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's basically just myself, you, and Nick, right? Is that what this movie's
Right.
about? Okay.
We're making a movie in Moscow, and I witness a murder, and then they're coming after me.
Right,
That's
and
that
you grab a broom. Okay, so
one. Yes.
I'm gonna say.
Oh my God.
I'm going to agree with Richard. You like that one, and you found the second one offensive for some reason. I'm not sure what, but
So the first movie, the one with the witness to the murder, what they left out about that one in the synopsis, which I guess I should have told you, was that she's a deaf mute. And so the name of that one is called Mute Witness. The second one is called The Den. And that's the one that's about chat roulette, and then they come after her. And that's the one I actually liked, was the second one. So you both got that one wrong. Mute Witness, I hated it so much that I literally broke the DVD in half.
Oh.
wow, that's some serious rage.
It was that bad.
Did you set it on fire afterward?
No, I didn't. That was a different one. That was a different one. All right. Round 3. All right. Movie 1. 12-year-old boy befriends a mysterious young girl whose appearance in the town suspiciously coincides with a horrifying series of murders. Oscar is the young boy, and he can't seem to shake off local bullies, but all of that begins to change when this new neighbor moves in. After striking up an innocent friendship with the neighbor, he realizes that she is a vampire responsible for the recent rash of deaths in the town. Okay, so that's the first one.
All right.
Little boy being bullied befriends this vampire. Okay?
Okay.
Second one is about this group of friends. They're teenagers, and they all talk on like their webcams constantly all day, like on chat, but web chat live. And one of the times that they're chatting, a friend, I guess an ex-friend, is trying to get vengeance on them for a shaming video that they had made earlier. So basically, months before that, they made this vicious bullying video of this one girl, and then she killed herself. And so, as vengeance, she comes after them through the computer. Okay, so which one did I like and which one did I hate?
That's tough.
Morpheus, you have to go first this time.
That's really tough. All right. I think you like vampires. I don't think you're a fan of people taking their lives. So that second one has a strike against it already. I'm going to go with the second one. You didn't enjoy the second one.
Okay, Richard?
I'm going to stick with my guns, and I'm still going to say the first one. I'm hoping that I'll get a first one correct at some point.
You just say the first one every time. Okay, so the first movie
Wait, are you
you
saying
guys
she
have
liked
probably
the first
heard
one?
of.
Yeah, she.
Yeah, he's saying that I like the first one.
Okay.
So the first one is called Let the Right One In. Most people love it, and it's a pretty famous recent vampire movie that I hated. And the second movie is called Unfriended, because it's about teenage people on Facebook, basically, and I loved it.
So wait.
Which one did you say I liked, Morpheus? The second one?
So I said it had a strike against it. So you didn't like it because it involved. Isn't that what I said?
Oh, so you both got that one wrong. Okay. Dang. Who's gotten one so far? Just Morpheus has one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You got 2 more chances, Richard. Okay. This round, movie number 1. Young boy Kyle claims to have accidentally woken up out of his sleep just in time to see the Tooth Fairy trying to kill him. From that point forward, he's considered crazy by everyone in the town, except for his childhood sweetheart, Caitlin. Years later, Kyle returns back home to confront his troubled past and save Caitlin from an unrelenting evil that has plagued the town for 150 years. So that's the first one.
So that was 25 years later, correct?
He came back. It just says years later,
Okay. All right.
not 25 years. Like every other movie we've seen. Years later.
Exactly.
And then the second one, a young woman is grieving the loss of her mother, who was a famous scream queen from the 1980s. So she goes to like a local theater with her friends to see this 1980s movie that her mom was in, like that they're playing as an homage. And they, like, the theater catches on fire, and her friends get pulled into the world of that movie that they're watching. And so she comes face to face with her mom in the movie, and they have to find their way out of the movie and back to real life. Okay?
That is some convoluted.
So, yeah. So which one of those did I like and which one did I hate? They both sound awful.
So I know Richard and I are competing against each other, but what are your thoughts here, Richard?
I don't know.
I
was going to say, from the way she was describing the second one,
okay.
she completely despised that one.
I can give you a hint that may or may not help you, but the second one had Nina Dobrev in it.
Quick, Richard, who's that?
I don't know who that is. Who is it?
I don't know.
Oh my God, you guys don't know me at all.
Is she another...
I'm more offended by the fact that you don't know how much I love Nina Dobrev than by anything else that's happened today.
I was going to say, is that another like horror movie crush that you have?
No,
Lady crush?
she was the star of Vampire Diaries.
Why does that sound familiar? I think think my
It was
mom
on
loved that
TV
one.
for 8 years.
I'm not even going to say anything.
Oh, so
I just got
anyway,
this,
so
I just got
either
this
that
notification
one.
from Twitter that says someone just unfriended you. Wait, Amanda, was that you?
Oh Lord. So,
No,
So-
I'm gonna say you loved the first one because
Okay.
just because you have someone that you love in the other movie doesn't mean that you liked it.
okay, what do you think, Morpheus?
And I'm going to just hang out with Richard there and agree with him. I like that logic.
Misdirected you guys. I love the second one, the convoluted one with Nina Dobrev was so good, and it's called The Final Girls. It has
That's a terrible title.
Tara Farmiga, I think is how you say her name in it. And then the first one that is awful, like almost one of the worst movies I've ever seen, is called Darkness Falls. Don't ever waste your time on that. This is your last chance, Richard, okay? Because right now,
Okay.
Morpheus is winning 1-0. You guys are doing awful at choosing this. My taste is so bad. Okay, here's your last chance. So, movie 1, it's a psychological thriller from the director that did Eagle Eye and Disturbia. So, Dana and David move from Brooklyn to a once grand southern mansion with their 5-year-old son looking for a fresh start. But Dana's discovery of her secret room in the house unleashes unexplainable events that test her sanity and slowly reveal the home's terrifying past. Okay, you got it?
Okay.
Creepy house. Secret room, creepy house.
Got it.
Second one. Tim is a seemingly normal 20-something guy. Decent job. Girlfriend Jessica. I'm kind of like reading fast because this one's really long. But an intense, paralyzing fear has been terrifying him since his childhood, and it's tearing him apart. When he was 8, each night his dad would put him to sleep with a bedtime story until one fateful night, as Tim watched from his bed, his father was violently sucked into the closet and never seen again. Thus, Tim is terrified of the boogeyman.
Not closets.
The boogeyman. So, is it the first one I love or the second one I love?
All right, I think I'm up first, right?
You guys can go in any order. 'Cause
So again, I'm going to give my logic.
I have a bad feeling you're gonna get it wrong.
Yep.
Oh God.
Based on just
Okay, go
how
ahead.
you said the names of the characters of that's what were the two characters, Timothy and who else?
Jessica.
Just by the way you said their names, I honestly believe that this is the film that you love because you said it with such caring and concern and and that's my
That's as
impression.
good a hint as any because with me you just never know.
Yeah, I just picked something.
Okay, Richard. Okay, Richard, what's your guess?
No, damn it! It's gonna be an A at some point. I'm sticking with it. A.
Nice. Good answer. Good
No.
answer. Good answer. Good answer.
No, it was the second one.
Dang.
So
what
if-
do you have wrong
so
against the
actually-
letter A, huh?
So literally, it was the second one every time, and you picked the first one every time.
I know.
You picked the wrong pattern, Richard. So the first one was called The Disappointments Room, and it was unbelievably disappointing. And the second one was called literally The Boogeyman. And I loved it. It's terrible, y'all. It's so bad, but I loved it.
Right.
Had a really pretty wooden house, like an old farmhouse. Anyway, that doesn't even matter.
So what was the boogeyman? Was he just like an oversized vacuum cleaner?
It was the broom in the closet.
It was the broom. It was
I
the
don't
broom. It was the broom in the closet. You're absolutely right. Thank you for listening,
I don't
everyone.
Really remember how it? I don't really remember how it ended. I guess like in the end, he has to face his demons and doesn't really know what's real or not. So I don't really remember the ending either. But I just remember I liked it.
That's good. That's important.
So, so overall, Morpheus wins because y'all tied the first game. Morpheus got 2 right on the second game.
Pure luck. Pure
That's good.
luck.
That's
I'm
because
very disappointed in you, Richard.
that's because you're very racist against the number 1 and the letter A.
And the letter A. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Pays to be random. Pays
All
to
right.
be random.
Oh, I get it.
I
no, I get it.
What do you get?
Because you love B films, so you put everything as B.
Good guess, but actually, I could remember the ones I hated very easily, and so I wrote them all down first, and then had to go back and fill in ones that were also awful, but that I actually liked, and just left them all second. So it was just laziness. There was no pattern. There was just laziness. There's no pattern.
You were beaten by laziness, Richard.
Oh, God. So that's it, for the love of God. I hope everybody that listened in got to play along and maybe did a little bit better than these two quote-unquote friends that don't even know that I like Nina Dobrev. Jesus. You guys are the worst. Everybody go to the website, CoGPod.net. Send us in questions for next week or back to regularly scheduled programming. It's going to be all of us, as far as I know. And the blog is there. Links from this week will be there. And I guess we'll cut it there. Everybody say goodbye.
Goodbye. Hugs.
Hugs.
Bye.
55. Stay alive. That's no jive.
Whoa.
Word up.